should get a brush and brush my hair. I figured out how to adjust this before and not after. Drives me crazy. Having to watch myself do the same thing. Boogity boogity. I need a brush though. My hair's a mess. It's nice. Mom doesn't want to get up. She's still snoozing, relaxing, so I thought I'd take an opportunity to talk about how I feel about things. Be one of those dark empaths. From my point of view, in my defense, or offense, whatever, however you want to look at it. I need to get a brush. Lunatical's still snoozing too. I don't know where any brush is. I lose things all the time. Timeline flip. It's overcast on the 35th parallel. I wonder how many places on the 35th parallel it's overcast where you are. So if I were to look at cities on the 35th parallel, or close to it, plus or minus 2, and look at the weather, how many people are having the same experience, shared experience, but we're just all in different places. The world isn't as big as that they tell us it is. That is for sure. That is something I learned a long time ago. Repeat people. There's only so I was in art class in high school. And I thought in terms of how to draw people's shapes, like there's like little tricks that people have, or that art teachers told me along the way to improve my ability to create a likeness to what I picture in my mind. And so I started art when I was young. They said I was autistic, and my brain interpreted it as artistic. So I just tried real hard. Plus, I was kind of good at it. Like I have from the 4th grade when I went to Rother Elementary in Reading. I have where we were the Rother Roadrunners. And I won a contest where they used the Roadrunner that I drew on it to put in the yearbook or on a worksheet or something. So that here I'll show you like I did, and I'm kind of versatile. So I'll do like cartoony, corny stuff like this. This is my trademark. I think it's backwards on here. It's an exclamation point and a question mark. They share the same dot. And then I did this. That's not bad for a 15-year-old. The paint's chipping and stuff. It's been wet and stuff. There's more detail in the light, but... But I was so busy trying to survive, you know, in a system that isn't for me, that and make sure mom was okay, because mom was a magnet for assholes. Like, she was a tiny little pretty thing. So she was a lot of Trumps went after her. Biffs, I'll call him Biff. Uh, they're talking a lot about that now. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I listened to Robert Phoenix this morning, and I'm going to play off a little bit on what he was talking about. He's not as willing to offer scrutiny as I am, because he identifies with a lot of those characteristics that he doesn't think are wrong. You know, these men, they do these things. They act in ways. They're like, oh, I was just being boys will be boys. I wasn't doing anything wrong, and you absolutely fucking were, and they don't ever take accountability. And today Robert Phoenix was talking about Donald Trump, and I was like, sometimes I have to look words up, because I don't know what they mean. So today I actually had to look up human trafficking. Because what does the world mean by that? It's the unlawful act of transporting or coercing people in order to benefit from their work or service, typically in the form or first label of sexual exploitation. Is there more? It involves the use of force, fraud, or coercion to obtain some type of labor or commercial sexual. Well, what is it when in the 70s and 80s, men at the garage tell little single moms with kids that a brake job is going to cost them way more money than they have, just because they'll be like, how much you got? Oh, well, it's this much, but we can take it out in trade, you know? Like, they put people, like, that's exploitation. Like, that's what this country's built on, raping and pillaging, really. Like, if a pretty lady, you'll want what she got, we'll just take it, you know? And things are changing, because the hourglass is flipping, because the earth is an etch-a-sketch, and people have been vibing too low, and now it's time to rise above that creepy shit. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a rad day. Peace. Hey, okay, hey. So, CorpUSA, first job I ever had, I was a bus boy at Chevy's Fresh Mex in Redding, California, the armpit of California. And 3 years I worked. I busted my ass, and I would never promote because I wouldn't wear the skirt and the Mexican Redding floofy dress. It was like dressing in drag for me. I wouldn't do it. So I just stayed a busser, and I made pretty okay money, and I was drinking and partying so much back then. I learned so much. No, you can call me Marge. Like, that's all. That's all. Whoa. No, that's a little dreamy for me. Thank you, though. I appreciate the compliment. I will take that. Corporate would come in, and they would have us come in on Sunday mornings at like 9 o'clock, and we're in the restaurant, everybody's hungover and stuff like that, you know what I mean? There's, in case you don't know, pass the word if that's what you're into, there was a young man that was found hung in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, you know? See, what I believe in is we're all shades of the same color wheel. And how you act in life, whether your heart is going to drive you to wicked and evil things, or, you know, community for everyone. And I'm not all love and light, fluffy shit, you know, because the world ain't about that. There's plenty of dark shit. No, don't be like that. Now you're being weird. That ain't, now we're going past a boundary. I appreciate the compliment. I'm just going to keep talking and focus on that. So I'm going to hide the chat because I don't like looking at the chat anyway. So corporate would call us in at the butt crack of dawn. We'd be all hungover and then tell us how they wanted to know where they want us to put the salt and pepper shakers. Stuff like that. And I was like, man, these corporate guys, they remind me of my brother. My brother sucks. He's one of those fraternity guys, you know, was in the National Guard, you know, just one of those people that always went with the program that had the most advantage. That sees easier, softer way. He's not a person of integrity. He's a lawyer. He's a man. He's a Virgo. In balance. Virgo's feminine energy. Men that aren't balanced in their feminine energy create all kinds of problems, just like women that aren't balanced in their masculine energy, which has been my experience. I've caused all kinds of my problems in life because I just had to relent, and people like to put me in my place because I look tough. I'm not. Not really. My body's falling apart. I got nothing to prove. I just use my words, and people get mad these days and want to end your life because they don't like what you say, and that's stupid. That's like middle midget shit. So corporate, I always had this picture that was painted, that people that made up corporate organizations, and then I took that with me in my life, and then went in the military, which is the greatest corporation of it all, and saw like all the advantage they gave the people that were a part of that group, but it didn't help their constituents, the people that they're paid to protect. And then I noticed this in every organization. I worked at hospitals, I worked at higher ed, Creighton University, I worked at Creighton University Medical Center. It was 2 of the level 1 trauma centers in Omaha, Nebraska. I worked at bullshit money laundering companies, West Corp. That's where people call to vote for your favorite dancer. Where American Idol started. Like, how many freaking assholes did coke because you called in to vote for fucking Kelly Clarkson? You know? So, it's just funny to me. You want up there, honey bear? You go there? Oh, good girl. I'm helping you. Don't yell at me, okay? Don't yell. We'll just go nice and slow. Good girl. I'll point the fan at you too, okay? You want to go up there? Oh, you're just taking a shortcut? Okay. So Robert Phoenix was talking about how Donald Trump, Biff, I just call him Biff, was back in the whole beauty queen and stuff like that. See, and I always was friends with the pretty girls. So I wouldn't, sometimes I'd hang out with them, but like they would go off and do their own things, and then I'd hear stories about it. So I get the after effects of this stuff. And I know my whole life that dudes are creeps. There's just people out, and there's chicks that are creeps too. There's just people out there that their primary purpose is to control other things, and the means in which they do that are of the sexual influence and persuasion, and that's weird and creepy. And there's not really a whole lot of humanity in that, but look how many people get rich from doing weird shit, from chasing sensations is what I call it. So you got all these people that are flying all over, partying, having a good time. Some of the girls know, you know, like, oh, you gotta sleep with old dudes, but you'll make a lot of money. You know, just check out, just you know, Drake, get drunk, you know. Tell yourself you're having a much better time than you are. Just lie to yourself. Just like, it starts with Santa Claus. Just, oh yeah, a man in a red suit comes down if you're good and gives you presents. Like, is that even a thing? I'm seeing so many people checking out on holidays. Happy to see it. Love the fall season. Not a fan of Halloween. Used to love it. Grew up out of it. Evolved past it. You gotta get past shit. Because people are still wasting their time on the same shit, stupid shit that they wasted when they were kids. They grow up. It's 2025. The cracks of cider getting wider. You know, hurricanes might not be landed. It's still going to be cold as fuck this winter. Still going to be a lot of snow in a lot of places where people There's less places for people to crash out and camp because they don't care about life there. But there was just a helicopter RMC from Reading Medical Center. That's where I grew up in Reading. Transport Center on 50. I'm still trying to put pieces together. Like, why were they there and stuff like that? Because were they, did they fly down and drop off? Because we're getting pieces together. They were part of a transport team. I don't think any of them died. I haven't checked in like an hour. They all got hurt. Like, everybody came together to lift the helicopter off the woman. Susie Smith or something like that. When stuff like that happens, it's scary. Thank goodness that there's one person that stands up and organizes. That when people are like, oh my God, they're like, you, put the fucking phone down, come over here, grab that fire extinguisher. Anybody call 911 yet? Like, all this shit that they could do. But people are just like, But there's so many people, we've had so much trauma in our lives. We instinctually know how to act. And it's not even just in this life, it's our soul that has traveled, incarnation. I want to say after incarnation, but sometimes incarnations happened in times previous before the last, because time happens all at once. We just kind of dip into a timeline, have that experience like a life library. And we do it in life. How many people, how many girls try to figure out who they are? Because I'm a woman, I'm a female. So I used to, I've seen these young women that are putting on like suits, men's suits, ties, bow ties, stuff like that. For the first time, like old suits. I was doing back that in 1989 in the thrift, because I go thrift store and that's the stuff I get. And then I'd roll up the pants like they were knickers, like it was all the old-timey and stuff like that. Because I was an old soul, and you just tune into different timelines that you have the experience, and then I kind of absolved whatever, because that was then and this is now, and so left it back when I was 15. People experience these stuff at different times, like the whole dyeing your hair funny wacky colors. There's a picture of me. I did that when I was in about the same time, 1989. What is this? I don't know. I'll get that later. So CorpUSA. So you got to think that like the government is run now by people. Like who makes up corporations? Who are the people that comprise CEOs and stuff like that? They're the yes men. They're the same men that were in the military when I was, that were officers. Now officers don't have the same reality that us enlisted have. Like their military intelligence is an oxymoron. So the way I look at it, and from my experience, because I was a mechanic, and it's like officers, they have the college education, so do I, but I have I use both sides of my brain, left and right, and they didn't hardly use part of any of one. Because they have the positions that they have because of their advantage in life, not because of they work hard. Nobody fucking in America has jack shit because of how hard they worked. Because I don't have very much, and I've worked circles around these people my entire life. But things aren't priority for me. I don't have Earth in my chart. I'm here to show people how comfortable people can be. People are like, oh, poor military members. They don't make any money. They're so poor. Like, they make bank. And they get extra money for housing, and then they get extra money for food, and then it's like, it goes on and on and on, and then they get deployed to go to Portland for a weekend, and then they get extra money for doing that. It's just like, why doesn't every American get extra money just for living? $2,000. $2,000 everybody does it for being alive. Because then you won't need. Think about it. Every child being born on Earth. How many moms in New Mexico wouldn't throw their baby away in a dumpster or the trash at a hospital or because my mom was a throwaway baby. She wasn't she was thrown away to an orphanage. And then a military couple that got a paycheck from the government already every month got an extra paycheck for taking mom, a little native kid in, Spanish baby in, and another little Jewish boy. Because we're just the people farm. Because the system just pays itself to say we care. And now, but they don't care, and the truth always comes out, and people are figuring it out, and oh my God, you mean they're not going around seeing if parents are fit? You mean they're putting people, they're taking these kids and saying, hey, you want a better opportunity in life? How about you want to go over here and work in this place? Kind of goes with that definition of human trafficking, don't it? I mean, CPS is known about that. When I lived in Oregon, they were putting kids from foster care in cells of Sheriff County and sheriffs up in like the rural areas, you know, because up there nobody's looking. They're gonna do what they want. They do all kinds of stuff. People do all kinds of stuff when they and then when they think that nobody's looking, and then they do all kinds of weird stuff when they think people are looking too. Like how much gross stuff like is in your face. That's what old Biff is doing now. He is so in your face to everyone. He is using the whole United States government to freaking, and I am in agreement with freaking what's his face, that Robert Phoenix guy. When I say that, because it's Hollywood is an extension of Washington D.C. and they all go to the same creepy parties. And they all do weird shit and take it too far because they just can't help themselves. Or maybe they can, they just don't think that they oughta. All the people, I've been groped. I used to get drunk and think girls liked me when I was young. In my 19, like young. And I watched a lot of rom-com, or not, like, I watched a lot of, like, Turner movie classics where you just grab the girl and kiss them. But they don't like it. Or I should say their boyfriends didn't. Maybe they did. I don't know. I just learned that you don't do that. You don't touch people without permission. You don't go kiss it. You don't touch. You just don't touch people. Whether you like them or you hate, just keep your damn hands to yourself. Why can't people, like, I hate when people, it is one of the most passive things in the world. And then, when I was in the military, I did it to somebody else. And then the SP said, you just assaulted them. And that is when you put your hand on somebody, even if you're saying, now, calm down. You can't fucking touch people. It's like against the law. So that's what I learned that. People can't help themselves. Look how many prisons are full or because of crimes of passion. Like people can't, that's what I'm like, man, for a little retarded girl, you know, I said mom always taught me how to use emotional control. You know, because if I don't learn how to control myself, there's always going to be people in institutions that will pay themselves to control me. And I know the deck was stacked. I mean, mom was trying to protect us kids one time, and she ended up in a Tascadero State Mental Hospital just because my grandpa's a connected Freemason, and my grandma, her influence is an Eastern Star real estate. I mean, they're all connected. It's all the real world of the nasty web.
we used to do tours of these houses, and they had secret rooms and stuff like that, you know? Like, there's always the dark side of everything. People just don't want to see it. They just la 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 la, you know? But, and then movies are based on shit that happens in real life, but they'll believe in the movie, but they won't believe that it's real. Like, you know?
I don't get planet Earth.
So now more people are talking about how, because I've shared my beliefs on this myself, on like, I don't know, is it the whites that are the aliens and the everybody that has shade in their skin, or which ones are the aliens and which ones are, it don't matter what people are, it's what people do with what they are. That's what matters. Like, are you all about yourself? Are you an alien that you only care about yourself and butt probes and all that shit? Or are you freaking, you know, of the more communal mentality that, you know, hey, butts are exit only systems. Yeah. Don't be weird to do that weird shit. We just want to work hard, grow gardens, and freaking cook food and have a good time and get ready for when the winter comes. We can have a place that we can go outside of the elements to have a good time till the storms pass. And why doesn't everybody have that opportunity? Why? Because poverty mentality comes from people in positions of power. And these people that are in positions of power, they're frat brats, they're sorority girls, they're pageant people, they're yes people. They're not people that have ever been in a bad situation. Like, oh, I can't make rent because you flaked out on paying me. You know, that's what Trump did in New Mexico. Like, he didn't pay for the place that he came to, like, so he just came and stood outside the airplane, talked, because nobody would because he, when your word isn't worth shit, you're just a character on a TV screen. You're nothing else. You're like entertainment factor at most. Like, nobody takes that guy seriously. You see pictures of him back in the olden days, in his glory days, like, he's all, yeah, yeah. I'm like, dude, he's my dad, and I am like my dad if I'm not careful, the kiss stealer, you know? Like, but I don't do that because I see how dirty and gross it is. Like, you don't, it's invasion of the creepy snatcher. And I'm from really nowhere, really. I mean, I've been all over the place. We ended up back in northern New Mexico. Thank you. We ended up back in northern New Mexico, but Mom was thrown away from Cuesta, and we're up by Taos now, so, like, we ended up where she began, because creator's funny in my world. And so, but we're looking to move on. I'm looking for a place to buy a farm and show people how to recover from whatever the shit they got to get over too, because I had plenty of it to get over myself, and these are the things I did. If you can try them, and they make you want to be a better version of yourself than you were yesterday, but not as good as you were. Better than you were yesterday, but not as good as you can be tomorrow. Because there's just too much to add in this world while so many people are taken away. There's not access to clean water. People don't have access to clean water. People don't have access to clean clothes. Like, this is why people, Vermont, see, Vermont, I haven't ever been on the east, but see, that's where my lineage is from. I got half colony, my dad's side. We're the colonist side. We're the alien lizard people side. That's why I gotta resist myself to just strike like a scorpion, because I'm a Scorpio moon, and it's just easier for the lizard to tag you, for their will to relent, and then you can go on and take what you want. But that's not the good orderly direction way. So these are the urges that I resist. My grandma's great grandfather was a man by the name of Isaac Walton. He wrote a book called The Anglers. It was the first book on fishing. I thought that was so funny when I found out that he did that because at the time I had taken up fishing when I lived in Nebraska. So that's fucking funny to me. Anyway, so that's the whole life of privilege. I am what they call, and I didn't even know these things existed until the last couple of years. People on the internet started talking about scapegoats and all this stuff, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm a little slow, but holy hell. So that's what I am. I am the scapegoat in my family because I am the truth teller, and they are they're just a whole bunch of liars that perpetuated storylines that they're really great, ingenuous people, and in fact, they are very disingenuous people. My own brother threw me and my mom away when I asked him for help to find a place to live because I needed help. I said, I need help. He said, Mom's your problem. Dude makes, at the time, I think he made $190,000 a year. But so I know what these frat brats are. They make up the government now. He's an important lawyer for the Office of Parole, state of California. Like, he don't give a shit about his mom. And then I think about all of his buddies, all of his friends, and I'm like, wait a minute, he's in a fraternity, and these guys are the same guys he went to high school with, and these guys are all come from single mom families. Like, I started noticing the common denominators. But they're little bitches. They can't change tires for themselves. And they're trying to designate how things need to be against the across the land. Gigs up. Gigs up. So America's a lie. Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are the same budget. Same as the pro sports. People that freaking... like, if you do a Gantt chart of a person's life, how many hours they're on their learn, and you put a Gantt chart, some of these people next to them, how many of those hours that they watch sports or worked at jobs making $10 an hour to work 8 hours to buy a concert ticket to give to a person on a stage because you listened to a song a while ago that you felt good listening to. And so you're just perpetuating their life based on a good feeling when they don't give a fuck about yours. When you gave 8 hours of your life, away to an entity that gives you a paycheck so you can do things like go in and buy a ticket. And I used to do it. That's the thing is I used to be in 3D World. I got a phone full of me. Taylor Swift front row in her 1989 concert. She helped me through a breakthrough. I just got dumped in Omaha. And I was dating myself trying to figure out what was happening because I had also had 8 anthrax vaccines that my country gave to me, CorpUSA, to sell units. And my body and my mind were like I was getting mad about stuff and what's happening and all this stuff. And so I was trying to sort shit out. And then, I think about people that talk about how CorpUSA, they're all about monitoring things, keystrokes, stuff like that. And that mentality is just taking over the government. They just went in from the military sector and they're doofuses. It's a show. But real people die. There's real cats. And the gig is up. So, that's our training. I worked at, it was a reconnaissance base, the 38th, 45th, and then we had the first axe. That's the doomsday plane. I don't know. Some people think that's something significant. It was my everyday work. I got the flight line shut down one time. That's a funny story. Yeah. people got the flight lights shut down at Offutt Air Force Base. Whoops. Anyway, I want to tell it now. Well, what I'm saying is, like, a lot of people, because they thought it was a suspicious package and I dropped the parts off of thing. But what I'm saying is, like, how many people got a paycheck just because they all thought the worst case scenario, but it was really this thing? But we've been bombing people over there based on military intelligence, which is an oxymoron, because somebody said they're going to come and get America when America doesn't fucking care about America. Because there's so many people rotting on the streets in America. There's this one guy that comes across my FYP. I gotta talk about him. It pains me. I see myself in him. Like when I was 15 and I evolved past it. So it's always important to evolve past a previous version of what you are. His name is Metal Joe on TikTok. And he freaking, like, I rarely hear about how grateful he is about things. About gratitude. I rarely hear about that. And he's always complaining about the situation that he's in. He's always complaining. And then his situation gets worse. And I'm just like, that, you know, what you attract, you draw near. It's not, it's so what you fear, you know, and like he had a hotel room, but he just, this karma that is coming back to this man, he fell down, hit his head, he was in the hospital, left the hospital, went back to the hospital. They were supposed to put him in a place so he could medically recover. They never did none of this shit for Mom. She just came home and then we had to pick up leaves after a dude slammed her head in a car door. So, they put him in a hotel room that he was by himself, but of course the amenities were not to his liking. And then they took him out of that and put him into, because of something that he had 30 years ago that he didn't know about with all of these extensive background checks that he's had. Didn't know about it. Then they're like, oh, you can't stay here by yourself. You got to go to gin pop, poor people. And it's not even like, there's no medical people there. And so now he's like, oh, it's just, you know, the pendulum of people's lives. That's why I sucked it up, lost 28 pounds in 3 months to enjoy, at 25 years old, to join the United States Air Force. Because I knew one day that I was going to have to take care of Mom, and I'm going to need that education and all that stuff. And then I enlisted that and then ended up going on decree for Operation, you know, I'm a main cast member. I just fucking never took the SAG award. And I talk about what a bullshit the cast is. And my brother's a main cast member. He went along with it. Dude was in, like, Just Say No movies. Like, he has this whole history of how he's this fake-ass person that gets paid 6 figures for telling people he cares. And he goes home and he's like, nah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about my own mother. You think I'm going to give a shit about you? and then he is like the vibrational frequency of the main cast that makes up the system that pays themselves a lot, while the cracks of society only get wider on planet Earth. It's just this crazy. So me and Mom are going to run off. We're going to buy our own farm. Have some chickens, I think. I want chickens. I want to have chicken. I've never had chicken. I'm kind of worried about... Well, at least I've been around people where they've had chickens that have had problems. So I know what to look out for. Because, like, they can get, like, all kinds of... There's just more stuff that comes with taking... Because I'm here to show people how easy it is to take care of things and be comfortable in life. And it don't take millions of trillions of dollars. It only takes a couple grand every 30 days. That's it. Just a reset for people. Just as long as that they have something that they can rely on every 30 days. You know, they don't... All these people that are chasing after this imaginary numbers, you know, like this number in their bank account that just gets bigger and bigger. If they get that crypto shit or whatever, and their number, just their portfolio, I used to keep track of mine. I used to keep track every paycheck. How much is that? How much am I worth? You know? And then it was like all this shit was stripped away from me, and I found out I ain't worth nothing. I ain't worth nothing to nobody. Except mom and my dogs. I only have one left and a cat after 5. So I'm honoring my commitment there. And then I'm going to honor my commitment and start something new. But I'm not going to talk about it so much. I'm just going to do it. And then one day I'm going to log off here. My background will change because it's happened 5-6 times since I started my TikTok. But my back, you see it start changing because I'll start packing stuff up and putting it away and get ready. Time to go. I'm like a Heyoka. I'm like a little native white. I'm a little menagerie. I'm a Mirage. Mirage is mixed up Margie. That's why I say that. It's like you don't see me, but I'm really here. Or I'm really here, but people don't see me. However you want to look at it. And then, well, I'll just end up someplace else. And that's how it is. The little Mary Poppins. Margie popping out, popping in over here, you know. So, it's anywhere. It could be anywhere in the lower 48. I mean, I remember I used to want it to live in Oregon because I liked Alaska, but then I found out, because I watched that movie, Northern Exposure, and I found out it was made in Oregon, so I might as well just go to Oregon, not Alaska. But I want to go to Alaska, but then I watched the Alaskan Bush people and Alaskan Frontier, and I was just like, man, it gets so far. And then when I was in the military, I went to Alaska 2 times. Both times in the winter were hours of lightness were like 4 hours from like 10 to 2, like 10 to 3. The sun, it would get like light like this at 10 a.m. and like 3 o'clock it would just start getting, as soon as it's just, no, you gotta have be of a certain frequency to live that way. I did go North Pole. I did see the Lady in the Lake. We went to Naughty's, which the guy I was with thought it was like a adult bookstore, but it was like a furniture store with naughty wood. That was funny. And then another time I went with a bunch of dudes, and they all wanted to go to the strips, the new, because everywhere, like, so you guys are worried about your husbands going off to war, just worried that they're okay at the strip club. Like, that's what America is, for fuck's sake. And then they come back and they feel bad about lying to their wives because their wives fucking work so hard to fucking keep it together to take care of the bratty kids and shit like that and deal with all the shit that comes with that. Laundry. But the guys are on, they're telling them that, we're hard at work all day. No, they weren't. Marge will attest to that because she watched you sit around all day with your legs up on a chair. And then I'll tell their wives, because I'd see them at the freaking Christmas parties and stuff. And I'd make jokes about it, and they get so fucking pissed. I'd be like, hey, does he go home and he tells you how hard he works? Does he do that? Because I work with them, and I assure you that's a fucking lie. So don't let him get out of doing laundry and shit, because no. And they put me on the weight management program. The only difference is I get to talk shit because I got off it. And I'm old. And I'm still I just went through a thing where I trimmed a bunch of fat. My world just gets smaller and smaller. And I can't tell if people really like me from my brain. And so I'm just, as soon as I get an inclination that they don't, I'm out. And then I'll give them plenty of chances to verify that they don't. And me having one-sided conversations where I'm messaging them and I'm asking questions or whatever, and I'm straight up getting ignored. That's because I'm autistic. I can't tell. And what it is people are such good fucking liars is I can't tell. And I came from a place where, like, my dad hated me. So I could tell when people don't like me. He used to do this thing. He'd grit his teeth. He used to have a mustache, and we'd drive for hours and hours, and he'd hold his arm up and he would just it was his stimming. He would play with his mustache and drive down I-5. He just hated his life and all the things that he had to do with it involved around me. Because I was his parting gift. Because he couldn't keep it in his fucking pants. My mom and dad were divorced. I just found out when I was 42 that I was a bastard. Like, I had a whole idea of how my life was, and then during one of these transits where the truth comes out, I get, your parents got divorced in 72. And I was like, that's weird. Because I was born in 74. That's pretty fucked up, actually. And then when I confronted my dad about it, the narcissist, I got the whole, why you gotta be mad about stuff that happened when you were a kid? I'm like, I just found out my whole life was a lie. That's fucking funny. This is what they mean. This is what they mean when they say that people will flip the script. That people will act like the asshole and then tell you, you were the ass. My brother is like this. Because he learned it from my dad. Like, that's what I know what an asshole is. Is like, I could have been the biggest because I learned from the biggest and best. My dad used to roll 50. You know how you, the vibrational frequency of a person that would take batteries. I dated a girl, she did this. That like threw something over the overpass, it hits a car and then they run off and but you like people die from that shit because somebody has a little demon that says do this, cause harm, hurt, it'll be fun. And then their will is just like, okay. Well, my dad used to take with his buddy Les from high school, Les Dernbaugh, they used to take 55-gallon drums, those big old oil drums and shit, and take him up on the hill in Atascadero, where he grew up, born and raised. That vibrational frequency. Born and raised fucking anywhere, man. Like, anyway. Dude used to take those drums up there and then roll them down the hill and watch them go into the interstate and then watch people fucking dodge their whole ass cars and shit. So, I know exactly what an asshole is. I mean, I've seen examples of this every day. For years and years. It's just they all give themselves good jobs. And then they blackmail each other and they step on each other to get to where they are. Dude, none of those people that pay themselves 6 figures to trash America are doing any good for fucking anybody like me that is single, that is trying to take care of another human being that can't take care of themselves, whether that human is a child. I think it's funny when people have new babies, new kids, and then like all they've ever done is fucking take care of themselves, and then it's like world stops, their whole world revolves around that precious new life, new little being, right? So they shut out everything. I'm like, it's just like, dude, there's guys that have been out here for fucking decades taking care of other people, and because people like you have only take care of yourself, you don't even imagine people like us because we don't exist. We're invisible. So, I mean, I couldn't even get food stamps when I needed them in Taos, New Mexico. That's how stupid cousin this place is. I just have to carve a way where, God has made it possible as long as I keep doing the right thing. Don't be causing too much of a scene, like Mom always said. Don't throw too much of a fit, and then God makes it possible for me to take care of Mom. And I tried this freaking sinful shortcuts, we were in Oregon. I was looking on like, what are the codes for in Craigslist for like keywords for like the peppercorn industry. Because I couldn't make rent, and I just needed to figure out those but God wouldn't allow it. So, thank goodness. That's just me doing the right thing. God was like, nah, don't sell your ass. Don't sell your ass. If you ever find a pretty girl one day, you don't want to have to explain to her about what a trashy hole you once were. How you were just some sort of penis pocket or some sort of, what do they call them? Dumpsters. of sorts. I won't say the other part. But there's just so much gross that people do to put themselves in better advantage, and that's what America's based on. I mean, coming over here and taking over and killing, and we wanted this beachfront property and our land to go to our family. Well, gosh, barred gone it, we're going to take it, and we're going to use governments and militaries, just like Biff is doing now, to do that. Using the fucking, I mean, this country is a joke. I am sorry for my service. Yeah. It's all nepotism. That's why infrastructure is dissolving. They don't have anybody with any kind of fucking skills in any positions of authority because they're all beauty school pageant dropouts. And it's everywhere. Like, everybody's selling their ass for. I remember I used to like this girl. She cut hair. I think she still does. I don't know. Maybe she's retired. She does rich people hair. She got in the locker room. And so, she worked with a girl that, like, had this whole other side gig of frickin' this nightlife freaky deek. I mean, I know who the freaky girls are, too, that are willing to sell that. You know, that's the thing is when people have a price, when they equate money to security or power or anything like that, that means that they can always have that stuff taken away from them, because in order to have those things, they have to have that. But I gave myself those things in other ways by giving myself other abilities that would take away the need that I would need to have money. So I don't have to pay repairmen to fix my computer, my mom, I don't have to pay repairmen to fix things. I do pay repairmen to fix things. I don't have to, because I am trained to repair most anything. So, yay me! See, I don't bring things to the table. I go walk around the forest, find a nice tree, say, hey tree, you want to come home with me? Hug it, love on it, ask it, get its permission, cooperation is nature's way. Then I'll cut the tree down, and then I'll take it home, and I'll mill that tree, and then I'll build that table. With that tree. And then I'll create the garden to grow the vegetables, feed the chickens and cows, and provide the whole entire meal to put on that tree table. And I'll invite everybody for fun and for free to come eat with me on that tree. Well, so many people are just watching some fake ass number in a bank go up. Bleep, 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 bleep. And you can't take none of that shit with you. So, anyway, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a rad day. Peace. You ready to get up, Ma?